Andy, and today I'm going to be reading to you the 4th chapter of The Bald Bandit. So, let's get started. Chapter 4. The next morning, Dink's hair was stiff with black shoe polish. He shampooed 3 times before he got out of the shower. The bathroom mirror was fogged up when he tried to see his reflection. He wiped the mirror, looked at himself, and gasped. His hair wasn't its usual blonde, and it wasn't vampire black. It was a muddy brown color, like the rusty parts on his bike. "Mom, help!" His mother peeked into the bathroom. "What's the— Oh, I see," she giggled. "It's not funny, Mom. How am I supposed to go outside like this? My hair looks like it rusted." "Honey, lots of kids will have traces of makeup on their faces or color in their hair today. It's the day after Halloween." Dink rubbed a towel over his hair as hard as he could. He looked in the mirror. Now he had frizzy, rust-colored hair. "Be thankful it's Saturday," his mother said, smiling. "At least you don't have to go to school today." After breakfast, Dink jammed his baseball cap over his hair and headed for Josh's house. When Dink got there, Josh was already shooting hoops in front of his barn. He grinned at Dink. "What's wrong with your hair?" he asked. Dink yanked his hat off. "Take a look. The stupid shoe polish from last night won't wash out. I had to be a vampire, right? I couldn't just be a cowboy or an astronaut." Josh dribbled and took a shot. He missed the hoop. "So have you thought of a plan for finding that kid with the video?" Josh asked. "No," said Dink, jamming his hat back over his hair. "Well, what do we do now?" said Josh. "Ask at more houses?" "I don't know," Dink said. "Now that Halloween is over, we'd look pretty suspicious. Besides, Green Lawn has hundreds of houses. We'd be knocking on doors for a month." Josh made a perfect shot. 2 points. We have to use our heads instead of our feet," Dink said, grabbing the ball after Josh's basket. A door slammed behind them. "Uh-oh," Josh mumbled. "Josh, it's time to go," his mother called. "Come in and brush your teeth, please." "I have a dentist appointment," Josh said. "Call me later, okay?" "Okay." Dink tossed Josh's ball into the barn and started walking away. "Hey," Josh yelled out behind him. "I think your new hair color looks just adorable." "Very funny," Dink muttered, tugging his hat down even tighter. "Maybe I'll cut my hair off," he thought. "Go to school bald on Monday." Suddenly, he stopped walking. Thinking about cutting his hair off gave him an idea. He ran toward Main Street. At Howard's barbershop, he peered through the glass. Howard was watching an I Love Lucy rerun on a small TV set. Dink walked in, setting off the sleigh bells hanging over the door. Whenever he came to Howard's for a haircut, Dink thought about Christmas. "What'll it be today, Dink?" Howard asked. "Want a flat top? How about one of the mohawk jobbies with a stripe down the middle?" "I don't want a haircut," Dink said. "I need to ask you something." Howard squinted one blue eye. He lifted Dink's baseball cap. "What happened to your hair?" Dink blushed. "I was a vampire last night. I used black shoe polish in my hair and it won't come out. I tried." Howard grinned. "Hop in the chair, me lad. I'll dose you with me special shampoo. You can ask your question while I perform a little magic. Dink hung his hat on a peg and climbed into the barber chair. Howard pulled a bottle and some white towels out of a cupboard. "I was wondering if you know any kids with red hair," Dink said. "Besides Josh." Howard draped a towel around Dink's shoulder and pinned it in back. He misted Dink's hair with a spray bottle of water. "I might," he answered. "Why, do you want me to dye your hair red?" Dink laughed. "No, I'm looking for a certain kid who has red hair. I think he's a teenager." "I know one teenager who had red hair," Howard said, pouring green shampoo into Dink's hair. "But I shaved it all off last week. Came running in here all excited, out of breath. 'Shave my head,' he tells me, so I did." The smell of the shampoo made Dink's eyes water. He felt his heart start to tap dance. "Was he carrying a video camera?" Dink asked. Howard rubbed the shampoo into Dink's hair. Why all the questions about this red-headed boy? He asked. Dink thought for a few seconds, then decided to spill the beans. He told Howard about the bank robber, about the kid with a video camera, and about the $300 the detective had promised. Howard chuckled. Oh, now I see why the boy ran here yelling for me to cut off all his hair. He didn't want the bank bandit to recognize him. So if I tell you this lad's name, you're going to persuade him to give you the videotape? Yes, if I can, Dink said. What about the money? Said Howard. Dink looked at Howard in the mirror. What about it? Would you be planning to share the reward with the red-headed boy? Dink grinned. Sure, we'll give him half of what we get from the detective. That sounds like a fine idea. Howard rubbed Dink's hair vigorously. Dink watched it in the mirror. His hair was a slimy green mess. Does this stuff really get shoe polish out? He asked. Yup, invented it myself, Howard said. Secret recipe. I used it once to get bubblegum out of me granddaughter's hair. It took tar out of our dog's fur, too. Howard swung the barber chair around and lowered its back. He positioned Dink's head over the sink. Close your eyes, me boy. Let's wash this gook out and see what's what. Dink liked this feel of the warm water and Howard's fingers smoothing the shampoo out of his hair. After a few minutes, Howard sat him up and plopped a fresh towel on his head. Dry off, I think you're back to normal. Dink rubbed his hair with the towel, then looked in the mirror. He laughed out loud. You did it! Howard smiled at Dink's reflection. I should sell this stuff and make $1 million. How much do I owe you? Dink asked. This one's on me, young fella. And the boy with red hair is Lucky O'Leary. He lives over on Robin Road with his mom and his little brothers and sisters. All 6 of them. Nice kids, and every last one's a redhead. Howard grinned as he lowered the chair, except for Lucky, who suddenly decided to go bald. And that's the end of chapter 4. So I'll be reading chapter 5 in the next video, and thank you for watching.